The biggest name.
You're locked into JJ and Alex. With the insight and analysis on the teams you can't live without. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. And for those of you that celebrate Navidad this time of year, a happy holidays to you as well. We don't want to exclude anybody, all right? Who sings this? Jose Feliciano? Is that who it is? So good. My kids get into this. I love it. It's a great tune.
Is this top 5 all-time Christmas songs?
Oh, I don't know if it. Oh, Annapolis is number 1.
Numero uno.
Of course. Now, at the same time, and I reminded Annapolis too. It's tamal season.
Ooh.
So
is it?
Support your local fresh tamale maker wherever you get them.
Where should I go?
I have a guy.
I'm ready and eager to support.
I told you, I have a guy.
Just tell me where to go.
I have a guy, but it's not recommended because the health department probably would try to shut him down because I get it out of the parking lot at the Sam's Club in Layton. Okay?
There's nothing wrong with that.
No
judgment here.
No. It's the best $20 you'll ever spend for 2 bags of tamales.
Those are the best ones.
The chicken and the pork. Yes. Come on. Let's get it going. He also speaks Espanol. I'm pretty sure he served his mission in Spain. Riley Nelson joining us on the program here on JJ and Alex, enjoying a Navidad season himself, and we're going to get things kicked off right here with the cut. Let's do it.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Trajan Wealth brings you this portion of the program, TRAJANwealth.com. Trajan Wealth for all your trusted local needs in retirement. Riley Nelson, tell me that my mind booted up from your playing days the couple of times somebody mentioned you went to Spain on your mission. Am I still right on that?
You got it. Tamales de cerdo y pollo. But tamales are 100% Mexicano.
Oh yeah.
They're not Spanish.
No. You're doing the paella. You're doing the tortilla de patata. You're doing all that stuff this time of year. So
yep, you got it.
Well,
you got it.
Happy holidays, Riley. Thanks for joining us on the program here. What's the Nelson family tradition that like kind of marks like the thing your kids can't miss and stuff that you guys do that they get the boys excited and everybody excited for this time of year?
Yeah, we're still kind of working that as our kids are small and don't have the constitution. But we're heading up tomorrow. So this will be 3 years in a row for those up in northern Weber County, the Barker Park Live Nativity. Y'all ever been up that way? It's like it's right east of Weber High. Have you guys ever been to that?
Never been. No. I've done the Live Nativity in up at the Harvard Yale neighborhood in Salt Lake. That was a pretty cool one too. But is it a big deal?
So this one I haven't been to Harvard Yale, but each wise man had their own camel. Roman soldiers are riding in on real horses.
Oh, boy.
We go because it has the best complement of animals. They've got a stable, half a dozen sheep, 3 or 4 goats. You know, they like Mary literally rides in on an actual donkey. They have every animal, but it's not just like one and it's there for show. Like they're riding on these things. So it's quite the production, and that's really it starts. They do it 4 days leading up to Christmas Eve. So we're catching the last performance tomorrow on the 23rd, and that's our can't miss at least of the last 3 years. All
right, so I'm looking at it here. I just found it. So is there you just walk up? It's free to get in? Yeah, I mean,
come on. It's free. It's a community event. They got a Barker Park's a big old park up there. There's a plaque there. Supposedly it wasn't that long ago. I think it was only a couple generations ago. There was a big farming community or big farming family. The Barkers donated the land to the city, and they built a big amphitheater in it. And yeah, they do a live nativity to the nines. It's pretty sweet.
Well, I'm gonna sock that one away, and if my kids are if my kids are misbehaving, we're taking the ride up to North Ogden, and we're gonna make this thing happen. And I'm gonna force the older kids to participate. That's what we do. Now it's just punishing the older kids when they're with
any chance you get.
With family traditions. Be like, oh, you're going.
When you're a teenager, you'll understand. When you have teenagers, you'll understand.
You're going. Get in the car. All right. Yeah. No, you can't drive either. Nope. You can't drive separately. Nope. You're hanging out with us. Riley, thanks for coming on the program. We're excited to announce, of course, that the news that everybody's been hearing all day today, but BYU and Notre Dame sign up for a shock home-and-home that we didn't see coming. Like, we were trying to figure out last week, how is BYU going to pull this off? Who even has an open date on the 12th of September? Who even has an open date on the 12th who will come to Provo? In our wildest dreams, we wouldn't have said Notre Dame.
The last team I thought would consider it.
But it's a big one. I mean, and I was saying, too, I think they did it a little bit to poke the eye of USC, and BYU's the benefactor of that because, you know, Notre Dame was having a hard time ever renewing this relationship and having a home and home ever with BYU. But your thoughts initially, because I think you were the last quarterback to play in South Bend. At least you were one of the last to play in South Bend there in that 2012-2013 series.
Yeah, except I wasn't 2013. 2012 was my last. So Taysom went in there in 2013 in what everybody says was one of the coldest games.
Yes, I was there. I can confirm that.
Yeah, but no, like I was about, like, when I first heard about it, I didn't see any details. I'm like, yeah, right, I'll believe it when I see it, assuming that we go to South Bend next year, and then they're supposedly supposed to come back in 2034, and they never show up. Yeah, and they never show up because that's been their MO for the last 25 years. But I was pumped to see that they're coming to Provo next year. And you say a little bit of poking the eye to USC, but I also think, like, you know, for all the faults the playoff has, like, I think BYU being the first team out and Notre Dame being the second team out on the outside looking in of these playoffs, I think this is like Notre Dame realized. Look, I was just talking about this with Notre Dame about Notre Dame with some buddies. Notre Dame used to, like, when they would beat Boston College, that was a good win, and like when they beat, you know, or even USC, that was always a game that they could hang their hat on. Well, a lot of their traditional kind of rivalries, or the teams that they kind of fill up half their schedule and the other half they rotate, a lot of those programs have not kept up to the level that they need to be for Notre Dame to accomplish their goals. And so I think they're looking for new partners to be able to do that, and BYU's the benefactor. The other one, and I say this 100% tongue-in-cheek, but I wonder, you know, who over at Notre Dame hated Tom so much that they'd never give him the satisfaction of ever coming over. Little feather in the cap for Brian to finally get it done. I think two ADs have been unsuccessful in getting the Irish into Provo, and Brian in his first year strikes a deal. So I thought that was pretty cool for Santiago.
Yeah, it is. It's great for BYU. And it's great for Notre Dame, too, because it adds a quality opponent to their schedule that you know, honestly, BYU would have been a better win this year than USC. And give BYU credit for that. But you had the Notre Dame experience as a player. What was it like, and what would set it apart? Because this is an opportunity for these players that are going to have in 2027 to go to South Bend, and, of course, they'll get a chance to host Notre Dame next season.
Yeah, so unfortunately, and by the way, I wouldn't change this. I only say unfortunately because, you know, now a lot of fans want to – I get asked that question a lot, and, of course, you know, I'm on with you guys, and other folks are always asking me, what was this like? What was that like? I played in some of the Cathedral College football, right? Like Florida State and Texas and Notre Dame and all these. And but I really was. But I was a leader on a lot of those teams. I was a starter in a lot of those games, and I really did take the approach that, like, this is a business trip. So, like, And at the time, I think Bronco's changed now, but Bronco was not into the, like, pull the bus up to the stadium and go around and take pictures and this and that. Like, we flew in, we went to the hotel, we had our meetings, we reviewed our game, you know, did everything there, got up, eat, review, head to the stadium, like, warm up, play the game. And so I never saw Touchdown Jesus. I don't know. All I remember is, like, driving in the middle of nowhere, and then someone in the front of the bus was like, there it is over there. And I was like, wow, this is crazy in the middle of nowhere. But so I didn't take in a lot of the majesty. I didn't grow up as a Notre Dame fan. I didn't necessarily, while I watched the movie Rudy, I mean, obviously you had to as a kid growing up playing football. I didn't necessarily care for it. So, like, I was more of like a longest yard guy or like a water boy guy. That tells you a little bit more about my sensibilities.
Riley, we're on the same page there.
Yeah, you class
no shame in that.
You class it up just like us. It's good.
Exactly. Anyway, and then JJ, to answer your question, what I'm left with is, like, we went in there with a really good team, you know, an all-time defense and an offense that was trying to do our best, and we took number 3 Notre Dame, who eventually finished number 2 and lost to Alabama in the national championship. Like, we took them all the way down to the wire, and so all I'm left with is a bunch of, oh man, if only I would have X, Y, and Z. That we could have had them So it's just a bunch of regrets and what ifs.
The curse of every college football player, right?
Exactly. But it was a great opportunity to be able to play in it, and I mean, it makes for all these years later, these 15-something years later, it makes you're sitting around and after a golf round or during a golf round or whatever, and you get to say that you played in South Bend and against one of their better teams, and so that's pretty fun.
Well, and I was up in the press box in South Bend for that 2012 game, and yeah, a person growing up loving football and just like crossing your fingers that one day you could even just make some kind of a trip like that to be working at the stadium. So the way it works is like that. At least in those days, I say 13 years ago at this point, when the press box is basically all mixed. It's like all their donors, everybody. They don't have like the suites nearly, or at least they didn't have them all parsed out. Those are like on the other side of the stadium. But you had a lot of like Nick Faldo was in the press box with us, like a couple rows down. Bon Jovi's kid was on the team, I think, at that point, or at least he was like a big donor at that point, and so he was in the booth, and like everybody was there, and they're all mixed with the media, and so you have all these fans, like these lifetime fans who are all cheering inside the press room, which is already awkward because we're told not to even like make a peep in these press rooms normally. And when Cody Hoffman's coming across the field, the collective gasp that the Irish had, it was almost like they knew, like, these guys can't come in and beat us. That was like the vibe, and I think it ended, was it 17-14?
Yeah, it was close.
17-14, yeah.
It was, but the environment was cool, and it was, I took in all of that, and I still have, all my stuff that I bought at that game, like, the program and all that stuff, and it's a fun thing to think, but from a historical standpoint is one thing. From the fact that you're trying to carve out your team's resume for 2026, this is a great start for Kalani and his guys because you add another big name to that. You have to play big games now. I think the College Football Playoff Committee, they at least say they want to see you sign yourself up for those, and that's a good start for them.
Well, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, we're not going to get these anymore because Texas didn't get in." Well, let's not forget that Texas. I'm forgetting who their bad losses were. Did
Florida.
Kentucky
They lost to Florida.
Oh yeah,
they
Florida.
struggled with
right.
Kentucky. Yeah,
a sub 500. That's right. Kentucky took them to overtime, but don't lose 3 games, boys. Like that game would have been fine had they not dropped 2 in conference. And by the way, 2 in conference to non-conference contenders. So it's great that you were able to come back and beat A&M, but look, the College Football Playoff demands that you play well through each phase of the season in September, October, and November. You can't just come up with one big win in November. Let's put the shoe on the other foot. Let's say they lose those same 2 middle games in the season, Florida and whoever else they lost to. Was it who did they lose to? Or Bama? Yeah, Bama beat them.
Yeah.
So they lose anyway. And let's flop the Ohio State loss with the Texas A&M win. They win Ohio State, but then they lose to Texas A&M. Are they still getting in? No, they're not still getting in because they're 3 losses. So everyone was saying that was going to hurt these these out of conference or preseason or whatever you want to call them matchups. I'm glad to see that early indications as schedules begin to roll out, it hasn't, in that 2 of the marquee brands in college football and 2 contenders for the playoffs have scheduled a matchup out the gate for 2026.
Riley, what's your thoughts on bowl games nowadays? Do you believe, someone who's loved college football for a long, long time and the tradition of it, do you believe that the college football playoff has damaged the need for bowl games or the excitement around bowl games, or do you still see a lot of value in them?
Well, you're asking a little bit the wrong guy because I can't tell you like the casual fan. I'm a college football junkie, so I'm watching no matter what. Like the Potato Bowl today for me had a bunch of intrigue, right? Like I wanted to see how these future conference opponents, one coming down from a P4, maybe that might be a little bit of a controversial, but and then Utah State kind of coming up from a G5 into wherever people want to classify the new Pac-12. But like these are 2 conference opponents meeting in a bowl game. So like especially for me and with Coach Mendenhall, I want to see how big is the gap that he has to close in this personnel. I think everybody knew, and Bronco first won them, that like Utah State has to improve their roster. Washington State's kind of coming down from taking some hit, wandering in the wilderness for a couple of years in the 2-team Pac-12 or whatever. So how big is that gap still? And we were able to see, judging off the first half, I'd be like, geez,
Riley, let me
it's respectful.
let me interrupt you just for a second here because I'm going to have our producer Alex call you back. You turned into a little bit of a robot there. No, your personality didn't.
You did a phone connection issue.
It was just it was.
'Cause I want to get his take on the Pop-Tarts Bowl as well, but just overall bowl is like, we were watching that bowl game. It was like
I failed to find
the skeleton crew. It's the problem isn't it's teams aren't necessarily able to take their best players. There's coaching staffs that aren't. There's head coaches aren't there anymore. There's just so much. It's hard to get into these bowl games. Definitely the casual thing, but I guess if the bowl games are making money, they're getting like Riley's saying, we'll watch any of them. We'll watch any.
Yeah, and I failed to find a little bit of the intrigue that Riley did. Obviously, the connection with with Bronco and his staff, and I was interested to see how they're going to show up. But the teams got so chippy at the end. Then you're like, oh, they did take this kind of seriously. Sorry, Riley, we had to reconnect you there so we could get a decent connection. But what about the Pop-Tarts Bowl? BYU's playing in this Pop-Tarts Bowl. That one has intrigue, obviously, for BYU fans, but it's always a mixed bag. I never know what you're going to get with these teams. Is it just enough to say, well, Kalani gets his guys ready for games, or is there a feeling of letdown because you got stiffed on the ability to be able to get in the college football playoff?
No, I see. Look, like I don't. He hasn't declared or anything, but like my guess is LJ Martin's going. He was Offensive Player of the Year as a running back. You've only got so many carries left in you, dude. He wants to put it out on tape. He wants another shot of putting it out on tape that like this dude should play and he should be one of the first running backs off the board. The same thing for like Jack Kelly, right? And some of these other guys, and I'm sure on Georgia Tech side of the football, you've got guys like that they want one more opportunity to put it on tape, and especially exclamation point. If Bulls can continue to produce matchups like BYU and Georgia Tech, I mean, obviously that was a sweet BYU Notre Dame, but BYU Georgia Tech, then players were going to want to continue playing. But one of the tough things, and look, when you get down to the six and sixes versus 6 and 6s, those are a little bit tougher to watch, but I'm pretty sure they still draw and they can still sell ads for them. So if no one's watching that, I don't know that any of us should care. But if you look at the top half of bowls, I think those are still going to garner national interest. And if you look lower down, I still think the regional, like me, explaining that for my interest in the Potato Bowl, right? I might be one of only a couple 100,000, but that still matters to a couple 100,000 people. And then as you get, obviously you got the playoff, and then that next tier of bowls, I think are still going to draw nationally because the brand of the sport is that strong.
Riley Nelson, former BYU quarterback, of course, and somebody we love having on the program and love getting his take on all these things. We hope you guys have fun in the holidays. Be safe, Riley. Say hi to your family for us and have fun out there with all those little kids, man. It's going to be an awesome one. Thanks for joining us.
Will do. Love it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Riley.
There you go, Riley Nelson. Man, it's,
maybe I'm a little too pessimistic on the bowl.
No,
thing.
you are.
Because he's
jaded
right.
sports guy.
Us hardcore sports guys, we're going to watch most, if not all, the games.
We'll do it.
And that's what they're made for, right?
Oh, yeah. No, don't get it wrong. We watch all these, but we roll our eyes at the games, and we can't believe it. And we're like, oh, man, this is terrible.
I'm older now, and I remember when bowl games were a big deal. I remember when there's teams with 8 wins that didn't get invited to a bowl game. How many times did BYU or Utah have 8 wins in the 70s, 80s, and 90s and never get invited?
No, for sure. It's
just weird nowadays. Everything's different. The game's changed, and you have to adjust to that.
It's a tough one to be able to.
But if the players and
balance.
the coaches don't care, then why are we supposed to care?
And I think, and ask fans.
And that's too. But to Riley's point, that's too general. That's too broad of a judgment.
Well, and ask fans.
I think there's plenty of these players that are giving their heart and putting themselves out there to play and want to play one more game with their brothers. So, and you can sometimes see which games where that effort is obvious and where they're not.
Yeah, I mean, the fans, if they're going to the game, great. I mean, you go to Orlando and you get the benefit of going to Orlando because,
Yeah, if you want to make a family vacation over
BYU
the holidays,
makes
makes sense.
BYU loves some Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
And so it makes sense. And, there are a lot of people who are making that trip and they're making a Christmas situation out of it, and it's awesome. And on the flip side, what are you going to get out of it? The reality is that the most important game that's been announced over the last little while is that Notre Dame home-and-home series, because that's regular season stuff Is that the second? Is that their second game of the year or the third?
It's the 12th.
The second game of the season for them.
They'll have college football playoff implications.
Yeah, right off the bat. Because what you're going to get is you're likely going to have a BYU team that's preseason. You at least cross your fingers that the powers that be would go, you know what, throw them a bone. They have their same quarterback coming back. Kalani re-signed and extended. Jay Hill always has a good defense. They've got some weapons coming back. Put him at 17 to start the season. Put him at
BYU
put him
will
at
be
15.
top 15 to start next
year.
year.
Yeah, put him at 15. And guess
Especially
what?
if LJ Martin decides to come back.
Guess what? Notre Dame will likely be a top 10 team just because. So you're going to have two teams who have little numbers next to them. You'll already probably get a trip for College to Game Day or for a big noon kickoff. Mark it down. It's probably going to be one of those two that first weekend. Right? Am I that crazy to think that? Because that early in the season, that many really, really good games, there aren't that many of them.
No,
and
right.
I bet in pro, you're going to see the first trip for either game day or big noon kickoff.
That'll be a
season
big deal. Week 2 of the season. Can't wait for it.
All right. Take a break. We'll come back. We got ourselves a little bit more to jump into here because you have a Jazz Daily. Jazz and the Nuggets facing off tonight. This Jazz team is just continuing to surprise us. I guess at some point we're not surprised because I'm not surprised anymore when Lauri Markkanen has a great game. Or not obviously Lauri Markkanen, but when Keontae George comes out, Isaiah Collier has turned into a night. He's having himself a year now. I think there are so many nice pieces of this Jazz team. We'll talk about it, and we'll get you ready for that one as well. Jazz Daily next, right here, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Your exclusive home of Utah Jazz basketball is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Slings it back to Clayton, steps back, he'll take the three. That's no good. Another offensive rebound, kick it to Love. He's got to make this one, right? Yes, he does. Kevin Love hits the three. Third time's a charm for the Utah Jazz. Isaiah Collier, who's been fantastic, gets around his man, driving, shot. Yes, and he's fouled! No foul, no fouls.
No foul, timeout.
Isaiah Collier ties it up. Thought they drew a foul. Isaiah Collier's hurt. That's why they blew the whistle. Isaiah Collier still on the court, but his scoop layup is up and good. And they should have called a foul. Stepping back, Keontae waiting. Gets underneath his man, shoots the three.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Oh, he made it. He's fouled. Keontae George shoots the three, knocks it down, draws the foul. And a chance to give the Jazz the lead with 4 seconds left. Oh, wow.
You're locked into JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Scotty G pulling double duty on Saturday, by the way. Called the Aggies game earlier in the day. Calls a Jazz game.
Then heads to Boise.
Then takes the private jet to Boise? Oh, sorry. Probably not.
Probably drove a tractor to Boise.
Hop, skip, and a jump away. But, yeah, quite a weekend for our Scotty G making those calls. But how about another overtime game for this Jazz team? They either go to overtime or they score 140 in regulation. I mean, it's like take your pick on which one you get. But
I like this team a lot.
I know. Listen, you cannot diss this team for making – they make such good effort on a nightly basis. And on a night like that, when Isaiah Collier comes in and goes 28 minutes, and what did he have in those 28 minutes? I don't think he got to 20, but he had 18.
Yeah.
He had 18. He had a phenomenal night, but he had 9 assists to go along with the 5 rebounds. That's a great night for Isaiah Collier coming off the bench. Keontae George played 42 minutes, got 27 points. That's a normal night for him now.
Collier only had 3 turnovers, too.
Again,
3-to-1 turnover ratio is pretty good.
This is the version of what you want to get.
Yeah.
Kevin Love going 16 and 16. How about that for a versatile night for the old man?
Still got it.
Yeah. So this is a team that gets to overtime and loses. Aw, shucks. I mean, it was one of those moments.
These are the
where,
best case scenarios.
Look, it was a great night because you had Ace Bailey who comes in and goes 34 minutes.
Yeah.
And he gets 14 points. He's had 34-minute nights this season where he goes for 2 points. This wasn't one of them. He's getting better and better. I just like what I'm seeing out of all these guys who come on to. I mean, Svi Mikhailiuk comes in and gets 23 points, right? And you're asking him to be a lot, right? Nurk comes in at your 5 spot, and they're asking Flip to play forward and then come in and play 5 a little bit. And he didn't have a great game, but you know what? Other guys stepped up. So Key's having he's having himself a season. No one's going to talk about Keontae George as a possible all-star. We will hear, but he's going to be averaging 25 points by the time
he's climbing quickly into that realm.
He's going to be averaging 25 points
now. 24-point average. 3 of his last 4 games, he has 30 points. He's now has 7 30-point games this year, and he has several 29s in there as well.
You tell me, JJ, because you always have to do a little bit extra. It's almost like they'll allow one all-star type player, and that guy seems like it's, Lowry Markkinen.
To get multiple all-stars, you must be an elite team.
Yeah.
You have to win a lot of games. It's not going to happen. Lowry probably gets in this year, but Keontae George is proving right now that he's on that trajectory. And next season, when the Jazz are no longer worried about whether they're going to keep a pick in the lottery and this or that, when they're actually going out there 100% trying to win and get to the playoffs, Keontae George will be in those conversations, because this is not something that's, just a nice little run here. This is who Keontae George is now. This has been the consistent thing throughout this season. He has taken the leap from 16 points per game to 24 points per game. That is a significant move. He should be getting most improved player in the NBA consideration. That is an award he should be a finalist for if this continues.
It's kind of wild because you think about what the careers for a lot of these guys are. Let me go to a third-year Jazz man and some numbers that he had in that year.
Remember, he's only 22.
He's only 22 years old.
Just turned 22, by the way, in November.
So I'm looking at the third season for one Donovan Mitchell in his career. His scoring average from that season was it's taking me a second to find it, I guess. Let me see where the actual points are. Okay, so here we go. His actual average for the year, he ended the season on 20.2 points a game.
Okay.
You're going to see
what did Donovan shoot from the three-point line that season?
Oh, you know what? 3-point shot that year, 35.5, 35.5, 35.6. Yeah.
35.3 for the season for Keontae this year. In his last 10 games, 41%.
Yeah, that's NBA. That's NBA shooting. And that's the kind of thing that gets you that all-star nod. That Jazz team, by the way, 43-26 that year, right? I mean, that was a team that you were expecting to be in the playoffs, and they were, right? And so I think you're seeing a lot of moments. Oh, yeah, that was the bubble year.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Yeah, the 1920
weird year where it was a normal season, then it wasn't anymore, and then we had to finish it later in the year, and it was weird.
Yeah, he got to the playoffs and ended up averaging, 28 a game.
That playoff series against the Nuggets was insane.
Yeah, he had a 57 in game 1 against Denver, and of course that went to 7 games, and of course they were up 3-1, and then they ended up losing the series. But man, is that a bad comparison? They don't play the same position, but
Donovan was a little bit older player. He had played more time in college.
Yes. Yeah.
But no, it shows the development. And Donovan was able to start better because of that experience and being older early in his career. But Keontae, again, just turned 22 in his third year, has made a massive leap. We've all seen the maturity. We've all seen the skill. We've all seen the mental aspect of it all come up. The improved play, taking care of the basketball, his court vision, so much has improved. It's one of the most dramatic improvements we've seen in the league, which is why, I will pitch and say, and the Jazz, I'm sure, will be pushing him hard for most improved player of the year in the NBA this year. I don't think this is going to continue. This is who he is now, and that's got to have you excited if you're a Jazz fan. And if you pair him, and if you're able to, once you figure out what you are after this upcoming summer, lock in Walker Kessler, and you've already locked in Lowry Markkinen. Obviously, Keontae George is going to be part of your plans. You've got Ace Bailey on the roster, and whatever lottery pick you get, all of a sudden you're looking ahead thinking, all right, here we go. This is who we got.
Yeah. Yep.
Now we got to go figure out how to beat the Spurs and the Thunder, who are going to be young and great as well for a long time. But that's a challenge that you're going to be ready for because you're going to have a loaded roster at that point. You got to be excited. I know that there's a lot of casual fans here in Utah that are going to be slow to get on the Jazz bandwagon right now because you got to win a lot of games and get excited about all that stuff, and it takes some time to develop that kind of momentum. But if you're going to the games on a nightly basis, if you got season tickets right now, I'm guessing you're a lot happier right now than you were at this time last year. You're getting a lot more bang for your buck.
Yeah,
because this team is
these are fun games
to watch. This is high-level entertainment.
I mean, you heard the call that Scotty had because what you had in the background, obviously, you got Ron Boone quite animated, by the way, on
that
call.
4-point play was incredible.
But you heard also a crowd that was beyond fired up.
Yeah.
Like that place melted down against a freaking Orlando Magic team that comes in and you get a, why should I care about this game type of a vibe on a season? But guess what? The fans were into it.
Following the league, the Orlando Magic are elite. They're one of the best in the West. They're 5th right now in the East. And so that's a really good basketball team, and they took them right down to the wire.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. We have more to go. We'll get you ready for the Jazz versus the Nuggets tonight. Jazz Nuggets. We'll prep that for you next. More to go around the corner. Don't miss it. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Wrapping up the hour with our picks for the best and worst moments on today's show. As JJ and Alex want to hear your best and worst of the day.
Hey, stay safe out there, would ya? I think more importantly, JJ, people are on edge in that parking lot, at the mall, on the road, on their way to get to the parking lot at Costco. I just take a deep breath. I got to tell myself that more than anything. I have to tell myself as like a recovering, yell at strangers in your car kind of a guy.
Are you?
No, I'm not anymore. That's the thing is when I first got married.
You used to be?
Yes. No. Like when I first was married, I had a moment where my wife was like, "Hey, we have like a child now. You should probably not."
So you're telling me you used to be a piece of crap, but not anymore.
Oh yeah, sloppy steaks, white slacks. Yeah, that was me. No, I had to make a couple of, and I have to tell myself periodically, like, who cares? Not worth it. Strange on the road. What's crazy is that in person, if somebody accidentally ran their cart into you at the grocery store, you wouldn't go, "Watch what you're doing, bozo," and like middle finger them, like as they walk by, you go, "Boom! Okay, take that, buddy. Figure it out." No. In person, we're fine. In our car, we become different animals.
Why do we become animals in a car? What's
in Utah,
up with that?
I'm just telling you right now, this time of year, when we need a little bit of grace, when you need a little bit of grace, give other people a little bit of grace. Would you?
That's a good holiday message.
Yes, please. Go
I
out there and
endorse
be
that.
nice. Utah Jazz and the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets are, as usual, pretty good.
Yeah.
And
second best team in the West, in my
they
opinion.
have still the best player in the NBA on their roster. I'm going to stand by that.
Jamal Murray is still the best non-All-Star in the league.
It's
How
crazy
is he
to
not
see.
an All-Star? Maybe this year's the year.
Injury report, no Lowry still. Kevin Love is also going to be out with
Bummer.
yes. And then Kevin Love's available? Or Lowry is?
I was going to say, Lowry's playing.
Available. I'm sorry. I thought all the other guys were out. And so I didn't see available right next to him.
They somehow managed his right groin to be available.
Well, you stop.
That's what it says here.
This is a family program. You can't manage somebody's
right groin injury management. They managed it. It's been managed.
Hey, stay safe out there, everybody who's working with a weird co-host on their radio show.
Just reading the copy.
Just reading the copy.
Straight from the Jazz.
Oh,
right
my
groin
gosh.
injury management.
Hey, how'd they manage that for you, Lowry?
Is that what he's going to get asked in the post game tonight?
Come on.
Could you give us details on how your right groin injury was managed?
This portion of the show brought to you by Doug Smith in American Fork, Spanish Fork, and in Linden. Nobody knows cars like Doug. All right. We'll take the break here. We'll step aside for some Utah Jazz basketball, but we do absolutely want to say we love doing this program, and these times of year make us realize more and more how awesome it is to be in the spot that we're in.
We love all of you. Thank you.
Merry Christmas to you, JJ.
Yes, same
to you,
to you.
Annapolis, also as well, and for all of you out there. Jazz basketball next.